Welcome to part 3 of 3 for our review. Number 22 asks us to graph y equals negative 3 sine x. So the period is simply 2 pi over b. B is 1, and we get 2 pi. Now, the sine starts at 0 if there's no phase shift. But this negative a means that the sine function is going to start decreasing from 0 first, then to 0, then to the maximum, and then back to 0. Notice that the period of 2 pi, if I divide that into 4 sections, is pi over 2 radians, which each of these represent. So we draw the smooth curve. And that corresponds with D on the packet. Number 23, I'm going to write an equation for a sine curve. The period's pi over 2, starts at the origin. So we need to find B. Period equals 2 pi over b. So we know that 2 pi over b is equal to pi over 2. And then we need to solve for b. So pi times b equals 4 pi. We'll divide both sides by pi. And we get b equals 4. So the amplitude is 5. And b is 4. So y equals 5 times sine of 4x, which is a. Now, 24, you need to be very careful. A lot of times we'll think that the phase shift is left pi over 2, but that's not the case. Anytime we have a number other than 1 in front of the x, we need to factor that out of the expression. So when I factor out the 2, what I'm really doing is dividing everything here by 2. 2x divided by 2 is x. And then pi over 2 divided by 2 is pi over 4. Since the phase shift is the opposite of what's in the parentheses with x, I know that the answer is D, negative pi over 4. Okay, we're going to go ahead and skip number 25 for right now, and we're going to go to 26. And we want to do the cosecant, or negative cosecant 6x graph. Well, the period is the same as its reciprocal function, sine. So the period is pi over 3. Now, pi over 3 is kind of tricky here. So I'm probably not going to do one so complicated on the test. So for right now, just know that the period is pi over 3. And if we sketched it, you could actually make it so that each of these were pi over 12. So pi over 12, 2 pi over 12, 3 pi over 12. And it makes the problem a little cleaner. So with cosecant, since it's the reciprocal of sine, we're going to draw that first. And so we'll have our little, since it's a negative in front, we start going down. We sketch the sine curve. Then we'll go ahead and draw the asymptotes in when sine is equal to 0. And then we draw the curves. And that happens to match B. Number 27, use a calculator. So the arc sine of 0.72. Notice that all our possible responses are in degrees, and it also says express your answer in degrees. So make sure that you're in degrees. Arc sine is the second sine function in your calculator of 0.72, and we get about 46.05 degrees, and the answer is C. Now, I did mention in a couple of the classes that number 28 didn't have the right answer there. So to show you how to get the right answer, I'm going to first rewrite the question. I know that that's going to be equal to theta, the angle we're looking for. So then I can say, oh, well, cosecant theta is equal to negative 4.9140. And since cosecant is the reciprocal of sine, I know that sine theta would be equal to 1 over negative 4.9140. So theta is the arc sine of negative 1 over 4.9140. This question won in radians, so I'll go to radians. Second sine of 1 divided by negative 4.914. So here's the answer that doesn't show up on the test. It wants 3 decimals. So negative 0.205. Okay, number 29. From a balloon 740 feet high, the angle of depression to the Ranger headquarters is 47 degrees 41 minutes. So the angle of depression is this angle right here. It is not this angle here. But I do know that these two angles are congruent because these are parallel. And I'm looking for this length. So the tangent of 47 degrees, 41 minutes is equal to 744 divided by x. So using your algebra skills, you'll get x equals 744 divided by the tangent of 47 degrees, 41 minutes. Make sure I'm in degree mode. 47 degrees, 41 minutes. And I get about 677, which is D. I already did number 30 in class. No, I didn't do number 30 in class. I did a homework problem in class. So number 30, city X is 55 miles due south of city Y. And city Z is 40 miles due west of city X. So this is 55. That's 40. And somewhere is Z. No. My apologies, this is supposed to be Z. And there's a triangle. What is the bearing from city Z to city Y? So from here to here, so let's find this angle. So tangent of theta, opposite over adjacent. So theta is the arctangent of 40 over 55. And I get about 36 degrees. So from Y to Z, it's south, and then I'm going to move west 36 degrees. And the answer is C. Then for number 31, remember this is our formula. That's omega. And that's one of the things we need to find. But we know the frequency is 77. Well, frequency is equal to omega over 2 pi. So 77 equals omega over 2 pi. We'll multiply both sides by 2 pi. And we get about 483.81. And then A is the amplitude, and we can see here that at 0 it starts at 0.54. So that's our A. So S of t equals 0.54. That came from here, times the cosine of 483.81 t, which best matches D. And that is it for part 3 and for the review. Good luck.